Hi everyone, it's Nat here. I've been playing around lately in my rose journal just a little bit, so I thought I'd show you what I've been doing and then do a bit of a page in here together. So, okay, now I'll just have to find where I am up to. I did do a few things the other day. So, here we are. So someone had gifted me this envelope here, which is really nice. I didn't want to embellish that much because it's just beautiful with the rose pattern that it has on it. And it also has some matching note paper, which I've slipped back in there. So that can be a spot where I can write some poems and quotes and that I like. And I've put one of my Gran's little verses on there, and I'll PVA over that, I think, in the future. One day I'll just go through the whole book and just coat the tops of all of her little verses. Now I've also done this page. I still need to do some decorating in the blanker bits, but I used this CD envelope and I had stuck a picture of a rose in there, and so you can flip that up. I've just used some washi tape to hold it down, and I've just cut out some card and put another one of my Gran's verses on it. And then I had this little rose. I think that came from Chrissy. I'm not sure, but if I can remember for sure where something come from, I'll let you know. But otherwise, a lot of this stuff I have been gifted. Anything I get that's sort of rose themed tends to go in here. So yeah, so I like that page, and a little flip up, and then it must be where the lace is here. This is a paper bag pocket. And if you watched when I did a flip through of this, you would have seen that there was a paper bag that just had this picture of a yellow rose stuck on it, and it was really ugly. So I pulled that picture off and I covered it with this, it's letter writing paper that someone had given me, which is so nice. So I covered it with that and then stuck one of my Gran's little verses on there. And then on the other side, someone had gifted me this as well, and I just loved the colour of it, so I put that there with another verse. And then I just stuck some lace to the side. I've got a bit of this lace, so I think I'll do about 4 pages in here with that. So there'll be a few pages every now and again that have the same lace, and I think that looks really nice hanging out from the edge like that. So I'll just find the page that I want to work on today. It was just here. Now, the idea for this page, the inspiration is this. It's an ATC that was given to me by Geo, and it is beautiful, and I love the rose on that, so I thought that definitely has to go in. So I've set about trying to find some bits and pieces that I thought might go with it. So I do have this paper, which I'd like to cut down a bit and put behind, and it's a little bulky. I don't want to have something to slip it into that's going to rip it up and that, but I found this pocket that I'd made ages ago, and there's a lot of room in this pocket, and I thought it would fit really nicely in there. So it's a book page pocket, which I'll show some other time, but everyone probably knows how to make these. But yeah, I might show them one day how I've made this one. It's just got a bit of wallpaper that's stuck on top of it and some lace and ribbon. So that'll probably go there with the card in it. And then I do have a doily that I might add to it, as well as this stamp, which is absolutely beautiful. And another one of my Gran's little sayings. It's a bit ripped, this one, but you can still read it. So I love this one. It's one of my favourites. It says, "I cannot clasp your hand in mine, we are so far apart. But love is like a silver cord, it binds us heart to heart." As I said, she must have had an autograph book that people would write little verses in, and she collected them all and wrote them all down on some paper back in 1930, I think. So I've been, yeah, the paper's all like breaking up and that, so I've just like ripped them. I scanned them first, so I've got a permanent copy, and then ripped them out so I can stick them in here as a way of remembering her. And I also made this little paper clip that I might slip onto this page too. It just goes on the top like that and sticks out. So, whoop, throwing that around. So we'll start with the paper. Now it needs a bit of a cut down. I don't need it to fit perfectly, but I do need to take just a little bit off the edge. that off, I think. Yeah, that's about how I'd like it. Now I'm going to ink around the edges, I reckon, just to highlight the edges a little bit. I think this ink will be alright. It'd be good if I stick my little fluff thing on. Yeah, just darkens up the edges a bit. So I hope everyone's doing well. I've been having a good day trying to organise the place as usual, going through a whole heap of books. Going through a lot. When I first started grabbing a whole lot of books, I'd grab any old book, and a lot of them aren't in very good nick and don't have too many interesting pages, so I've been deciding which covers I'd like to keep and which pages to use for what. So I've been gutting a whole lot, but I decided I wanted to gut my finger instead, so I stopped then and thought I'd better do something a bit more relaxing for a while. So yeah, I was using one of those pen knives. Wasn't very pretty. It's risky business, this junk journaling. So yes, I think we'll whack that down. Now I reckon I'll just use my fabric glue. I know things stay down when I use this, so yes, I've been having fun just pottering around doing little bits and pieces in this journal. And I've done a page in the journal I bought from Chrissy as well. I've done her page for her correspondence, which I will show sometime too. I reckon it needs a bit more bling though. It's not right if it doesn't have bling for Chrissy. Try and get it somewhat straight. I can see how these things get alligator mouth so easy, because this one's already starting to get pretty chunky and I haven't stuck much in it yet, so I've lost my page. I know it's here somewhere. Might just stick this little corner down a bit. I went online and found these little applicator bottles for my glue, which are awesome. I don't know how I lived without them. They're such a fine tip on them. The only thing is trying to get the pin back in. It's hard sometimes. And they have glue explosions with this glue. But they're so handy for little bits, because I always over glue when I'm doing fine gluing. Alright, I think I've got the text up the right way. That's amazing. So yes, we've got a little pocket. Don't know if I want to ink that. It looks like it could do with just a bit of inking, I reckon, especially up here. So just go around it lightly, I think. Just down the sides of the wallpaper. I love that wallpaper. It would have to be my favourite that I've found so far. That looks a bit better. Now, I also want to put the saying down. I've got the doily, which I think will just sort of join it all together nicely. Thinking of doing something like that. Then the stamp might go on the doily like that, or the other place was quite like it down there as well. I'll definitely ink the stamp, it's a bit white. Go over it a bit. Alright. Now the doily. I'm just debating whether I might ink the doily up with the same colour just a bit as well. I'll just get some in the centre. Just do it down here. Just get a bit around the edge. It's already been inked with a bit of walnut stain, but I think it'd be nice having a bit of the rosy colour on it. Yeah, that fits it. Matches the paper a lot nicer like that, I reckon. So I think that looks pretty good. Just debating what, yeah, that'd be nice, and then I can slip that under there a bit like that. So I do it higher, I don't like it that high. Alright, I think we will stick down the saying. Now, just use some of this paper I've got. So I'll just use my glue stick for this because it's quite fragile. So fragile, I think I almost ripped it more then. So I have to be very careful with these. Stick that little bit down. To ink that too, but that's alright. What I can do is just go around it. I always forget to ink something. I can just go around it a little bit with the edges. Don't think I'm getting much on there, but doesn't need a lot anyway. It's just to blend it in a bit. It's a bit better actually, especially up the top. Just going to use a tiny little bit of glue just there to stick that bit down more. Right, now got the doily, a pocket. So I want the doily up over there a little bit, but not covering up any of the writing. Again. Just go around the edge of the doily with my glue. Just there, I reckon. A little bit there that I haven't stuck very well. I like that, it's looking pretty already. Now where's our stamp? Quite nice there too. Just think I might be able to put something else down here a bit after. Down there. It is quite nice there. Alright, we'll put it there. Beautiful stamps. Usually I won't use them unless I've got a double, and I keep the first one I get in my stamp collection, but these were just so nice for the, I haven't got any other rose stamps and they're just so pretty I had to have them in here. I suppose I'm keeping this journal anyway, so I'll get to keep the stamps. Now I'm just thinking how far down I want it. I think it looks good about there. Now, do we want to tuck behind it? I don't think I do for this one. So we'll glue all 4 sides down. Now with the tag, when I stick it in the pocket, it slips sort of right down, so I think I might actually do a little tab thing on the back of it, just so I can pull it in and out easier. So I did grab some of the, I don't know if that's the same ribbon I used, it looks a very similar colour. And I used that lace. It's very old lace. Some bits are really dirty, so I'm just cutting the dirty bit off. Although I will use that in a collage or something. I'll try and find a bit that doesn't look so bad. So that's quite dirty, that bit. So I'll cut it off there. Just thinking of folding it over like this and sticking it, might just stick it to the back, or should I leave it long? No, it needs some structure to it, I think. Just see what it's like with the ribbon in it. The ribbon goes nice actually because the colour matches the pink on the card there and the back of that, so we'll stick some ribbon on it. Can never tell which is the right way of laces. I think that looks about right. Now I'll use my little glue for this. I'll just put some in these middle bits here. That dry for a bit. Now I'm going to stick my pin in before the glue goes everywhere, if I can get it in. But yeah, these were quite cheap. I think I got them online at Craft Online. A 2-pack of them. I gave one to my mum, kept one for myself because they're so handy. I see everyone using the art glitter glue that has a little top like that, but I think that stuff's quite expensive, so I thought I'd use my fabric glue in it and see if it worked, and it works really well. Just trim this. Now I might stick the ends of this together before I stick it to the, I could even staple on, but I prefer to glue things really. I'll have to grab out the stuff to do my daughter's journal now that she's left for, she comes up for the weekend and goes again, so I can't work on it. I want to do all this stuff on camera, but I can't show it because I did the blooming envelopes for her journal and She never watches my YouTube. What did she do? She went to watch it and she was upset with me for nearly spoiling the surprise. So I can't upload any of the videos on that until she's got it now. So I must get a move on and get it done. So I'll just put a bit of glue on here. I'm just going to have to let that dry before we slip it in. I think that'll do. The pink definitely, yeah, the pink of the ribbon suits the background nicely and the card as well. So, and it'll just help me pull it in and out. But yes, I'll be letting that dry before I put it in fully, but it'll go in like that. And then that bit will stick out for me to see that there's something in there. I'm going to have to see, I meant to bring my bling out and I forgot actually, because I might put some bling or something up there. I do have, oh, I've got some flowers and stuff as well. There's a bit of bling in here. Got these little stars. I did bring out, if I can get it open, I've got some of these Prima flowers. A few of them might go somewhere. Kind of like the lighter ones. They've been a bit mushed up, the way they were packaged in these little bottles, which is a bit silly because they get all squashed together and out of shape. Got them from the second-hand shop as well. Could do a few of them somewhere, might look alright. I like that one. I think this one's a bit dark really, although these fiddly bits always get me. Trying to find the ones that look alright with the stuff that I've put in the middle. I think we'll take the dark one away. I do have some of this pearl stuff too. Just not sure how I'd want to use it. Be alright sort of dangling a bit, but it's very fiddly. Let's move this a bit closer to myself. One a bit more. I might just stick it down and then work on the flowers afterwards. This should hold it. Actually, maybe I should go along with a bit more. Try not to ruin what I've done. I'm just going to hold on to this and put some pressure for a bit. Shouldn't take too long, this stuff dries pretty quick. Oh, it's sticking to my fingers more than anything. Just leave that for a minute like that. Figure out where we want the other one. That'd look alright like that. I reckon we can have two sort of going that way. And we can sort of stick the flower to hide the ends. Or do we want it going the other way? Just bend it a bit. I can put it going the same way. I'll have to see how well this holds, because it might be better to use glue gun for this sort of thing, which I never remember that I've got. Stick this one here. It's like watching paint dry, isn't it? Now that one's... yeah, I'll have to see how well they hold. I might have to get the glue gun out if they come off. Give them a while to dry and see. Right, now the flowers. I think we'll put the wider one. No, we'll do the pink one first. Need one to cover the end of this. That's a bit better. I have to start using my tweezers. Be a lot easier to do these little fiddly bits with my tweezers. I just get put off because they're the type that you squeeze to open, and I'm so used to using the other ones that yeah, it takes a while to get used to them, that's for sure. Now just have to think about where we want to place these last two. That looks alright actually. Which one have I got on top? That one. So I'll put this one on next. Him under, it's over that one, but under this, if I can lift it like that. It's starting to hold a lot better now, so that's good. So I'll be letting that dry for a while. I quite like that. Not too good at this sort of thing, so it's all like trial and error for me. So a bit bulky under the page, but it's not going to be, I mean, I will put a lot of quotes in that in, but I might even type them out. I'll get an old typewriter and type them out so that they look like vintage before I put them in, I reckon, so it won't matter so much, and I can use a bit of cardboard underneath if I do want to write and I don't want these like bigger bits to annoy me while I'm doing that. I'll see how dry this is now. That's feeling pretty good actually. There we go. That slips down like that. So yeah, that'll do for that page for now. I might be able to find some ribbon. I do have washes actually. if I've got, oh, that one's quite nice. A bit of that in that bottom corner, I reckon would be quite nice. It just says love. It's romantic. Like the rose, I suppose. Could just rip a bit of that off and put it there. Don't want it too neat, so I'll rip that side. Now I'll just put some, I see Gail do this all the time, Gail Agostinelli, just to make sure it sticks properly, because the washi tape, you know, isn't the most permanent tape. Now it looks blue underneath, but that's just because the glue's that blue one, so as it dries that blueness will go away. But that's a nice touch actually. I did have those little bits of bling, but I don't know if I want stars on it. Oh, there are love hearts. Hang on. That'd be quite sweet. I think the star's a bit too much. Down there or on the washi tape is the next question. I kind of like it down there. Decisions. I'm trying not to lose it. I still like it down there. Actually put my glue here, I think. Nice good job of it. It's a bit better. Still might add to it in the future. All my journals are like that. I can't ever finish a page because you never know what you might find that'll look nice on it. So, but I like that. It's a nice way to use Geo's ATC. It's just absolutely beautiful. So it's nice to be able to put things from other people in. I've got another one I want to work on too from Andrea that she sent in her package to me, which has a beautiful rose on it. So that might be the next page that I do when I find some bits and pieces that might go with it well. So yes, hope you like the page and I hope you're all having a good crafty time. Have a good evening everyone. See you later.